Tarnopolsky. Noga, tell us more about what's happening in Israel this Sunday.
Well, it's the first day of the work week here in Israel, and few people seem to be going to work for now. It's the beginning of the day. As you know, it's a general strike, but without having been called by the unions. So every economic sector has chosen by itself whether to participate or not. What we're seeing for now, principally, is that the country is coming to a stop, which is what the organizers demanded and announced by blocking most of the main highways in the country. So there have been tire burnings, hundreds of people blocking main arteries. It's very hard to get around, and this was called a national day of stoppage, a demand to end the war, a demand to sign an agreement. And what we're being told by the organizers is that many more events, performance type activities are planned throughout the rest of the day, and that in fact the day will end with a series of convoys from all parts of the country converging on Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, and for some sort of a massive rally, possibly even bigger than the one we saw last night in preparation. As far as I know, the disturbances in the national train system have to do with a technical problem, and the airport is functioning, although the Union of Airport Employees did give its personnel freedom of choice about joining today's strike or not.
And despite these calls, Noga, to end the war, the government seems to be moving ahead with its offensive, notably around Gaza City.
That's right. We're seeing ever more acutely the government of Israel taking the completely opposite direction that's being demanded by the people of Israel, not to mention, of course, the global community. What we heard last night is a bit of a murky message and slightly odd. I want to emphasize that one of the things we heard is that Israel is not yet beginning to evacuate the population of Gaza City ahead of the announced expansion of war into that area. But we heard that Israel is, quote, renewing the supply of tents and shelter equipment, whatever that is, tomorrow. We were told less formally that the idea is to, quote, encourage the residents of Gaza, central and northern Gaza, to come to gravitate towards where these tents are, and thus to voluntarily empty the north and the center of Gaza ahead of this military operation. It's, in my mind, quite doubtful what the possibilities of this so-called, voluntary migration of people within Gaza will be. More strangely, this announcement from the IDF, from the Israel Defense Forces yesterday, mentioned explicitly that the aid will be coordinated and transferred by the UN and international organization. So the UN and Israel are, in essence, not in speaking terms right now, and in fact the U.S., which has failed thus far to negotiate a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, is busy negotiating some sort of a truce right now between Israel and the UN. So again, I don't know if this Israel army announcement was coordinated with the UN. We don't have any confirmation for them, and they do not appear to be currently on speaking terms. So this is what we've heard. It may be part of a psychological warfare operation to try and persuade Gazans to leave their homes or whatever spaces they're in central Gaza, but it's not yet the beginning of any actual evacuation operation.
All right, Noga, thank you, as always, for your insight and those updates. That's our correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky, reporting there from Jerusalem.